Hi, I'm Mike Marino, and this is a brand new episode of Live from My Mother's Basement. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, depending upon when you're watching this recorded show.
Good morning.
Good morning. It could be morning, it could be late, could be in the afternoon. It could be somebody who's watching in England, and we don't even know what time it is.
They're not even up.
But this is another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement in the studio in Los Angeles with one of the most legendary comedians of all time. And if I say his name wrong, he can break my balls.
I will break your balls.
The whole hour that we take.
People have done that to me. They're the most legendary, the unbelievable, iconic comedian. He's been around for years. Craig Shoemaker, and they put the umlaut like I'm off the boat from Bavaria.
Craig Shoemaker, ladies and gentlemen.
Shoemaker, there you go. You got it right.
I said
I'm
Schumacher.
You did, didn't you?
No, when we were on the phone talking one time.
I know, Marino.
Right.
That's what you did. You know, his
I love
case coaster will come right back at you.
Yeah, yep.
You know, and use your own shit against you. You know,
there are Schumachers, right? But it's spelled the same, right?
No, it's not. They got rid of that on Ellis Island or whatever. They got rid of They got rid of the They made it maker. You make shoes. You don't mock shoes unless they're Crocs. Those you can mock. You know what the holes are for? So your self-esteem can slip out.
I never wear Crocs.
I love Crocs.
It's not my It's not my thing, man.
I got them for free.
They look like you just got out of the shower.
You're going to relate to this.
What?
Anything free, it's me.
I love free.
Right?
Food always tastes better when it's free.
I got the first Crocs ever out of a trunk. The people invented them. I did a corporate gig in Colorado. I go, look at these things. Those are the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Really?
I wore them. They were for nothing.
See how crazy this show's going to be today? I actually have the guy who wore Crocs the first time that anybody even knew about Crocs.
Yes.
And here he is. Don't say Schumacher. He'll break your fucking balls. I'm Marino. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming over, man. I really appreciate
my pleasure, man.
Legendary comedian.
I'm backing up because I have a huge head, and I think you might.
I got a bigger fucking head than you.
Well, now you do.
Size of my
if
head.
I do that, look now, look at this. Now you're fucking Mercury, and I'm Jupiter, and now I'm back here. I'm Uranus. See what I'm saying? I like being back here now.
All right, then let's stay here.
You can upstage me all you want because my head looks a little.
Is that what that is? Yeah.
More reasonable.
Like
I have such a big
play.
head. You know how? You ever have a car where you see another car, it's the same car, and you give it the high beams? You ever did that? You go,
or beep the horn. Hey.
Yeah, it's a unique car. I feel that way with my head. Like I'll see another big head person. I go, I got you. I see you. I see. And I think you got one. What size is that dome?
This is a big fucking head.
What is it? Do you know what the size is?
It's 7 3/4.
Oh wow, I'm an 8.
Oh, okay.
There's not even a size. You know the little things.
Yeah, you pick it out so you
get
get a hat.
the brackets. You know the brackets. You know in the back of the strap.
Yeah.
Mine is a hinge. It doesn't even have. It's on one. Just it leaves you with one.
I got duct tape.
Yeah, it's the side though. It's a big head to the side.
I try not to wear hats. It's good bad for your hair. Make your hair fall out.
Yeah, look what you did. Exactly. So I still got a little bit of hair left, but I just it's this big head. There is a theory though. The big heads. This is good for you and me. Make it in show business, in film. Did you know that?
No.
Oh, this is a true story. Absolutely. Like the big head people. Like I ran into Clint Eastwood. Oh,
he's got a big head?
Oh my God. It looks like a pumpkin on a broomstick. It's
really?
Like, creep or whatever he says. Yeah. He's a gigantic head. A lot of these people have big heads. Almost all big celebrities, especially of yesteryear, like Humphrey Bogart, huge noggin. So I went, one time I had a meeting with Merv Griffin. Right, and a private meeting with Merv Griffin, and I was nervous because you remember the stories about Merv Griffin. Have you been around the last 40 years in show business? You don't know.
I heard
stuff?
he might have been a scary guy, but
he did things, like Denny Terrio had a lawsuit against him. He used to make you wear your underwear on your head and stuff like that. He's dead. I can say this stuff, but the rumor was
is Danny Terrio dead? He was great.
Well, Denny Terrio, he made his career, but then Denny Terrio, I think, sued him because he would make him do stuff.
Really?
Merv did. So I was so nervous. He says, "Pull around the back and come meet him at this for a new show at the Beverly Hilton." That's where his office was. I'm going, oh my God, I'm so scared. I said, "Keep the car running, because I have to run out because I wore good underwear just in case I was going to." But anyway, you never know. I'll do anything for a job. But I wore 2 pairs, so I didn't. Anyway, so it turns out there was a load of people in there, and it was great. It was a great meeting. And I said, "Merv, I want to know something." is it true that you choose people from their big head? As a matter of fact, I heard you chose Vanna White for her big head. I had heard that rumor. He goes, oh, yes, it's true. He goes, she had such a large head. It wasn't an 8 by 10, it was 8.5 by 11. I mean, because
Really?
and that's how he chose her photo from her big head, and she's had a career in a Wheel of Fortune ever since because of her noggin. And I said to him, if that's the case, I'm your guy. I'm an 8 there, Merv.
Oh, I got a big head then. Yeah, I got a big head.
Yeah, and it works on film. That's the thing. It works on film. You fill up the screen. So I guess that's what the theory is.
You gotta love these conversations, man. You want to make it in show business, you better have a big head. Either that or you better...
All the famous
let him
people.
say it.
How many famous people do you know? Right, you know a lot, right? I want you to think about it now. I only know one, and I went to him. Oh my God, he's got the littlest head. Michael J. Fox, little head. He used to put a hat on. With
Yeah.
He get
What a
buried
legendary
underneath the
guy.
hat. Yeah, but not many people you can name don't have big heads that have become famous. There you go. So we have something going for us.
We're gonna be famous as soon as this podcast airs. Because somebody's gonna watch and go, look at the size of their heads.
Look at them. They make one.
All right, let's rewind.
Put our heads together. Let's see what it looks like a big ass.
Born and raised where?
Philadelphia.
Philly. He's a Philly guy. The accent's a little bit different from Jersey.
Definitely. And you know what pisses me off? They never do Philadelphia accents in screen history. They've never done one.
Is that right?
Even the great Robert De Niro in Silver Linings Playbook was all about Philadelphia and all the traditions. He's dropping the R like you guys do.
Is that right?
Oh, come over here. We don't say, we go here like that with a horrible hard R. Water. You don't say water, do you?
Water.
Yeah, see? Water.
Water.
We say water.
What are you doing?
One time I was on that show, Parks and Recreation, and Amy Poehler's my boss, right? And I'm on this parade float. She's over here, and this other guy, he's got the bullhorn. He goes, all right, everybody, we're going to take our places over here. And I went, hey, Philly. He goes, how'd you know? How'd I know?
Yeah.
How'd I know? So I go, your accent. And I said, I went on my rant. I go, in the history of film, no one has ever done an accent. And I'm standing next to the one person that she goes, I did one in Baby Mama. Amy Poehler, she did it. So I still kept my job. But I picked the one time of all the times for me to go on that rant, but no one's ever been able to do it. It's a very unique, horrible accent. I try to drop it.
I'm glad that you brought that up because a lot of people here in California, when I perform, oh, are you a New Yorker? I'm like, look, if you were in New York right now, they'd be pissed that you actually said that because they could tell the difference between the other side of the water.
Wow.
In New Jersey and New York. And then there's the outer boroughs and then the 5 boroughs and all of that shit.
Can you give me a word to tell me? Can you define for me a word that is different from New York and your part of Jersey? Can you think of one?
In New Jersey, we
expression?
say things like walk, bought, thought.
Okay.
New Yorkers, actually, people in Manhattan supposedly don't have an accent,
Well,
the Manhattanites.
they don't have an accent.
Then the people in the outer boroughs have like a bit of a nasal twang, like so Staten Island.
Yeah.
Walk, bought, thought. A little bit more like that. Brooklyn, I can't do justice. Brooklyn has its own. You could definitely tell the difference between a Brooklynite and someone from New Jersey. There's 4 different accents in New Jersey. Northern,
Yeah.
Central, South, and then West.
South is Philly, by the way.
Yes.
Cherry Hill and all that's a Philly accent, and they're Philly fans.
I would agree.
Oh, yeah, no question. I mean, they consider themselves Philadelphians. Now, how do you say the word? This is something I think you and I have in common, but the rest of the country does not say it the way we say it. Tournament.
Shit, man, give me a pen. What did you say? So what's the word? Slow it down. I'm a fucking comic, man. Stop hitting the table. You're shaking the camera.
Don't make me laugh. All right. Tournament.
Oh, tournament.
Yeah, tournament, right?
Yeah,
No,
I would say tournament.
Now, the rest of the country, they laugh at you. They go, what do you...
Well, how do you say
They
it?
go, they say, I say it like you say it. They go, tournament.
Oh, fuck. Don't
Isn't
say
that great?
tournament.
They go, tournament.
Turn.
I said, Springsteen.
Tournament.
Springsteen doesn't go on tour. He goes on tournament.
Tournament.
Come on, dudes, we're going on tour. 1, 2, 3, fur. It's wrong.
Tournament.
Tournament. That's
Where
how
the
the
fuck
rest
is that
of the
accent
country.
from?
Well, have the people write in and say how they pronounce it.
How do you pronounce
Tournament.
tournament?
Tournament. We
Tournament.
say tournament. And then when they imitate us, They'll go, ooh, tournament. I'm not saying tournament. I say tournament. Tournament.
This is almost like the conversation of how do you say things like sub sandwich, or do you say blimpy? Do you say the thumb popped up, or do you say oh, come on,
Hoagie.
hoagie?
I say
You
hoagie.
said hoagie?
Of course it's a hoagie.
But in Philadelphia, is a Philadelphia cheesesteak hoagie?
No, it's just a cheesesteak. You don't put the hoagie in it. Hoagie's different. Hoagie's cold with Italian meats. It's an Italian hoagie. You put oil.
Wow.
You put oil,
I
oregano.
never said. I know an Italian sandwich. I'm going to show you one right now. But I could never said hoagie.
Why couldn't you say that?
There was a blimpy. But
I like
blimpy base.
He's got the hand up. I got my standards. Never. He cuts it off at that. What's wrong with hoagie? I can't even say anything else. What do you say instead of hoagie?
Sub.
Ugh,
A sub.
it's very common. That's not
Sub.
even regional.
There's another word for it too. Hero.
Oh,
I never
no.
said hero.
No.
Hero.
Well, how about the Greek thing? The G. I'll spell it slow.
Oh. Well, I know what you're going to say. A gyro.
Gyro.
How do you say it? Is it a gyro?
Well, believe it.
A gyro? A gyro? What do they say, those people?
Make a commitment. Which one do you say? I want to know which one you say.
I said gyro.
Okay. Spyro gyro.
I want a gyro pop.
No. It's pronounced gyro.
Oh, yeah, all right. Well,
Okay.
I could never say that. Can I have a gyro?
Yeah, gyro. Okay.
You rolled your tongue a little on that. I hate that fucking word.
Well,
I hate blimpy.
Anywhere where you roll your tongue, it's a little obnoxious. But
How do you say food?
Food.
All right, so let's eat.
Food. Yeah, let's say food. All right, what do we got? By the way,
folks,
we have something in Philadelphia. I want to know if you know this. Scrapple.
Yeah, well, I've heard of Scrapple.
I've
had
never
Scrapple.
had it?
I went to a diner in Philly once, and this guy made me have the Scrapple.
He made you.
It was something about the word that made me think, I don't know if I want to have that. What's in that?
It has crap right in the middle of the word. It says crap, and it's scrap pile, one vowel away from scrap pile, which is what it is. It's they make sausage, and then the snouts are left over. They sweep it, and they put it in a mold, and Philadelphians go, put ketchup on it, put hair on your chest. Thanks for the health tip, Sasquatch, and I love it. I absolutely love scrap.
I'll have to admit, it was good.
Oh, you do?
You had it in the morning with eggs. I was there with this singer. He was a tenor, big, fat guy.
Wait till I tell you what was in it. You're not going to like it anymore.
Well, it looked like it was something that fell off the table, and they
You're going to
sweeped
go
it
have
up
an
and said,
MRI when I tell you what's in it.
ah, shit. All right, what's in it?
Snouts. Hooves.
I don't even know what a snout. Yeah.
A snout. Oh, a snout is the nose of a pig.
So it's
and
the
hooves,
shit. It's the shit.
Everything left over after sausage.
Whatever
As if sausage is good for you.
Whatever
That's what you ate.
whatever didn't make it into the bacon became the schnapple.
That's exactly.
That's disgusting.
Scrapple.
All right, so here's two things I don't like: hoagie and scrapple.
We're gonna come up with a few of them, I'm sure.
And a big head.
I've been having some of your food here, by the way. I couldn't help myself. It's delicious.
I love when I come back.
Who made the
to
peppers?
Los Angeles.
The peppers is like I'm back east.
A
They're
stuffed
amazing.
cherry pepper. We're going to show everybody.
Amazing.
There's a place. Maybe you should know about it.
I
It's
should
called
know about it.
Fogia Italian Market and Deli in Lakewood, California, which is right down by the Laugh Factory in Long Beach. This guy's got an incredible deli. Fogia is a small town in Italy. And every once in a while I go down there, he treats me like a nice guy and he gives me some food and we talk about it on the show. So here's a nice plate that I'm going to show you that in my household we would call this an antipast, which is antipuesto for you white people.
Well,
and
no, antipasta. That's
antipasta.
Antipasta.
If my mother was alive and you said antipasta, she'd throw you out the back door.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. It's like I'm against pasta. I'm anti-pasta. It never made any sense.
There's actually no pasta in an antipasta.
Well, maybe that's why it's called antipasta.
Antipuesto.
It's against the pasta.
Antipuesto.
Let me tell you, this is delicious right here. I had that already. I had the mushrooms. Unbelievable. Everything's been great so far. I had a little piece of meat. All this while you turn your head. You told me to wait until we're on, but I had to sneak it.
This is Italian scrapple.
Look at that. Look at that.
We got some cheese, which is stinking up the whole place. We got some pepperoni. We got some crackers. We got mozzarella cheese. We got some olives. We got some mushrooms. And what he's saying he loves so much is a stuffed cherry pepper.
I'm going back on that.
Please, finger that bitch right into your head. And it's got feta cheese in it, but it's going to taste a little bit more like Philadelphia cream cheese. There's cream cheese in there.
I know.
All on you, baby. Knock yourself out. We have
This
some
is
forks
phenomenal.
over here.
What is this?
Pepperoni.
What kind of pepperoni?
Margarita by Harmel. He knows his Italian stuff. He's a Jersey guy. And I brought him a nice sandwich, which is a nice, big, fat roast beef sandwich. There's Swiss cheese on there, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, a little bit of mustard. I was against the mustard. The guy put the mustard on. So yellow mustard. I don't know why he put it on.
Against.
I don't do the mustard, man. But that I got one over there. We got some fruit. But this is all donated and served to us from a good friend from Fogia Italian Market and Deli in Lakewood, California.
By the way, I want you to know I did not break the chair.
It's going to break. Don't worry
It was
about it.
already broken.
Well, Johnny Roast Beef was here.
Thank you, Johnny Roast Beef, for making it look like it was me. He left it.
You want me to get you a
He
different
left a
chair?
little piece of Scotch tape on there, and now it looks like I did it.
Is you all right?
I'm ready to go
good.
down, but I just wanted to see if I do go down, it was not me who broke the chair.
This is why this show is called Live from My Mother's Basement. I try to make it authentic. Nothing works. Things break. You can get hurt. And you eat.
Oh, God, I love the eating part.
Now, he doesn't want to have the bread because he's not doing the bread thing.
I'm gonna have a
You
little
got to
bit of
show
bread, 'cause
everybody how you bite this. Come on, get on camera.
I want to.
Come on,
I
get
have a
on
little
camera.
bit of bread because I want to see.
Get
I
the
compare
napkin.
breads. I compare breads out here.
This is good bread.
That's the thing. I think it is. So
It's
I'm
a good
gonna have
bread.
some. I'm gonna have
I don't
the
know
bread.
where they get it. He doesn't want to bite on camera because he knows he's going to make a mess.
Oh my God.
Yes. Fat, thick, overloaded. You can't even eat a whole. You got to have a half.
But they put a
Take a
flavor in
break.
there.
Take a break.
Another flavor.
I think it is
Oh.
not oil and vinegar, but
Oh.
what's a vinaigrette that's got a balsamic vinaigrette? And it's got little onions, little diced tomatoes. It's very
All
nice.
right.
You can actually have the salad by itself.
I'm gonna go full on. Any East Coaster's gonna love that.
Yeah,
Wherever this is, I'll drive to Lakewood.
They're East Coast guys.
It's hours away, but I'm gonna go there.
it's an hour.
For somehow they even did the bread right. Because the water
So
out
glad
here,
I made him happy.
the water's no good out here. That's why the rolls are no good. You
I don't
can't
know
get
why
good
they-
rolls out here.
That's what they say. I mean, how do you believe that? Is the water really that much different?
It must be. Have you ever had good rolls or soft pretzels or bagels or pizza out here? I mean, decent.
Well, where do they get that? And when they fly it in?
You mean
The
when
bread's good.
they have good bread here? I have to tell you, this is delicious.
They got good meatballs down there,
Oh,
chicken cutlets, all kinds of great stuff. All right, so he's a Philadelphia guy. He's living in Los Angeles. How long you been out here?
35 years. Yeah.
You came to LA specifically for showbiz?
Believe me, I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So 35 years. Is this where you cut your teeth as a comic, or
I
did you
can't
start?
stand people here.
I know.
I mean, people are from here.
Yeah.
I hang out with East Coasters.
I don't even know if you could find people who are from here.
You know, lots of them.
Yeah.
Find an asshole, they came from here. No, I'm sorry if you're from here. But there is a difference. And I'm asking you, and then I'll take another bite while you answer.
This cheese is really good, though.
What?
It's fucking
Why?
sharp.
What? Yeah, I'm gonna have some of that. Why is it that we do gravitate towards East Coast people? What's the difference? I'm gonna hear what you think the difference is. Oh God, that's good.
Maybe we're more down to earth. Maybe we're more blue collar. Maybe we lived harder. There's something about when you see somebody from back east, you got that feeling of, oh, hey man, are you all right? Are we good? I miss you. I never met you. There's something about it.
boiled down
Kindness with an attitude?
I boiled down this truth tellers.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Brutal truth.
And
I
here's
don't
the-
like you. You're a jerk off.
here's the
You
other one.
know for
Yep.
sure. That's it. You're hated. Well, at least you know.
Rooted. That's the other one. Even the palm trees aren't real. Did you know that?
No.
These are not real. They're imported.
A growing palm tree is not
Palm
real?
trees were all imported. They're not indigenous to this area. I did not know that. I thought it was just known. You see Beverly Hills, you see the Clampets or whatever, all those trees, they're all imported. They're
No
not.
shit.
I never knew that either. There's this golf course out by me. They destroyed the whole golf course because they said we have to get rid of these palm trees because it's not indigenous. So it's literally not rooted. Like we have the rooted trees. You go back east, those big, giant, thick trees, and it's like with sap coming out of
The
it.
tree in front of my house in New Jersey is so rooted, it takes up the concrete and the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get rid of it because if you do, you're going to ruin your sewer system. Because that's where the roots go into the water. And that's it. You pull that out, you are fucked.
And that's what makes us who we are.
That is an unbelievable, great analogy. I'm glad I got that on tape. I'm going to have to watch that.
Well, families, they wouldn't do this here. You know this, your family could, grandma's in the attic. You're here, the kids make a basement thing. There's no basements here. There's no paneling in the basement with, in Pittsburgh, they got like Jack Lambert's still popular.
Did you grow up in like the row homes?
Yeah, well, yeah, not only that. That was another thing. We either had a double home or a row home. And every time I would build a tunnel to whoever the next door neighbor was. I built it, and one time I covered it with an Elvis poster. I was like Shawshank Redemption. In 1966,
Yeah.
Andy Dufresne left Shawshank, had nothing but a set of muddy prison clothes and a rock helmet, and they walked down to the nub. Andy Dufresne. And that's what I was. I was Andy Dufresne. I dug in there. Mrs. Rodgewitz discovered it, though. That was the end of my tunnel. So, yeah, we were attached. You had attached, and you had a common driveway in the back. You played stickball, and like an awning was a double. Old man Cataldi's car was a triple. That's how you did it. And the bases were, you chucked down a piece of cloth.
The end of that car, the bumper of that car, the tire on that car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and if it landed on that person's lawn, it was a home run.
And because you didn't want to hit it too far, because it was you lose the ball, you cut the ball in half and made a half ball. Did you do that?
I don't remember making a half ball.
That's because you were pussies in Jersey. You guys had fields and shit.
Basically, though, the time of year, if we're talking about summer, this game was played with a wiffle ball.
Yeah, wiffle ball
so
too.
You couldn't really hit it that
Not
far
that
unless
far.
you were really, really good, but still the wind would take it.
Wind would take it, yes. Oh, you could just curve that thing. And
we had some guys that could pitch that ball and be like,
you thought you were so good until you went out and
then you swung and you threw out your shoulder.
Because you got this tiny little bat it's too light.
Wiffle ball, man.
Yeah,
what
we used to find
game.
good wiffle ball fields. And we used to play all kinds of games. We had a game called Chink. Did you ever play that?
No.
You're laughing like I'm being racist. It could be chink in the armor. See, I'm not being inappropriate. I'm just saying
what is
it's
Chink?
called.
What is this game?
You play with a ball, and you slap it against the wall. Boom, boom, boom. And if it goes into the crack instead of down
Hindu.
and up, that's called chink. When it goes in there, it's called chink. And then when you lost, did you do this? You played ass ball, and you line up. You go, oh, come on, man. And they throw the ball as hard as they can at your ass. They throw the ball, and they make welts in your ass. You wanted to win. That's how you competed.
This is Philadelphia?
Because you didn't get an ass ball. Or you play buck. All those games.
I remember buck.
Wasn't that great?
We played handball. We called it handball. And when you hit it against the concrete wall, if it hit that little crack that you're talking about, that was called the Hindu. Maybe every area makes up their own shit, the Hindu. And if you were a little kid and you played with the big kids, you better not win because they'd just beat the shit out of you anyway. Stickball in the city. I grew up in a town called Jersey City. So in Jersey City, when you played stickball, I remember a broomstick with some tape on it, electrical black tape. You had to give it back so that somebody could clean.
Yeah.
But I always remember when a car would come down the street, the tough guy would look at the person in the car like, why'd you have to come down the street? We're playing. You knew we were here.
But the wintertime, you used to hit him with snowballs.
Oh, yeah. Were you the type of kid that when
you check them out first, though, you go, teenager! Don't throw at the teenagers. They'll come and get you.
Yeah.
Old people, you just walk right up and smack them with the snowball.
I remember, man, all my friends, we would sit there with the snowball and shove little tiny rocks in it. Here comes the car. Boom, boom, boom. Was there gunfire? No, there was a big rock in the snowball.
It's our karma.
That's why we can't get along with kids out here. They don't play as rough as we do.
Oh, my God.
We only had one ball on the entire block. It was that started with an S, Spalding, pink Spalding. And if that ball went down the sewer, there had to be at least 3 wire hangers from somebody's closet ready to get it. Had the little round thing at the end.
You by the ankles.
Yep, and then down you went, petrifying. There was really nothing bad about it. In fact, they should learn a lesson here in California to get the sewers so that you don't have the above water situation that fucks everything up. And we would go down there. You get the little kid too. Get the littlest kid.
Yeah.
Get the ball.
I was that kid.
Yeah.
I was always tiny. So, but we had a thing. If you had a ball, right? You purchased the ball. That was huge. Like you save all your savings. You buy a ball.
Nickel.
And if you lose it, did you call something? Because everybody had to say, listen, I'm going to give this ball to the community now, but you're also responsible for it. And what'd you call? Did you have to think? No, you didn't have it? We called chips. And that meant you chip in to buy another ball. You all got to chip in.
Oh, wow.
So then you had to do this. Then they brought you potato chips, the bastards. Instead of buying a ball, they buy you a little bag of potato chips. They go, here's your chips. So then you had to go like this. You had to beat them at the punch. You go, I called chips, no potato chips.
No, we didn't do that, but I will
that?
tell you this. If someone had the ball and there were like 6 other kids
Like
that
a
had
rich
no
kid.
ball, you just sat there. I hope he comes today. You think we're going to play today? I don't know. You know, I hope Joey everybody had a nickname. There was Tough Toe, Fatso, Chubby, all kinds of crazy shit. Me and my 2 brothers, we didn't have any nicknames. We were just regular dudes.
Well, where I came from, they shorten your last name. My last name's Shoemaker. They still call me Shoe. People still do. Steve Wartenberg, Wart. Stagliano, Stag. Scott Astor didn't like it. And Tony Pusini had to move. Don't call me
Ass.
Ass. Get over here.
I think for the most part of my life, I thought my name was Marino. And Marino, oh,
Yeah, nobody
Marino.
called you your first name,
never.
right?
It was always Marino.
I was always called Shoe. You know who hated the nickname? For some reason, we're high. You know, you're high, you come up with stupid shit. This poor guy, I'll never forget it. He probably had to quit college because we got onto this thing that everyone in. His name was Terry Hurd. And we said, Hurd, that sounds like when you're taking a dump and it's stuck. You go, Hurd! Poor guy. He'd be
That's
walking the street.
disgusting.
We go, Terry Hurd! Terry Hurd! And poor Terry Hurd, I think he left. I think he transferred. You imagine walking around with that to people because everybody's acting like you had hemorrhoids. Terry Hurd! But that's what you did. You busted balls. They don't do that out here. I coach Little League out here, California. They'll cancel a game, cloud in the sky, broke. I played on broken glass. The only grass in the entire field was in the coach's bong. Run it out.
The other night I got on stage and I told everybody, look, it's not a storm. It's raining. It's just raining. You're all right. Drive. Get to where you're going. And shut up. Get an umbrella. Like that mushroom? Very nicely marinated. Nicely marinated.
I'm making a pig of myself here.
Take your time. That's just why we're doing what we're doing. Nice, tiny little spread with some East Coast guys. What nationality are you?
Well,
Want me to wait? See
why
what
don't you
happens.
guess while I'm chewing? Guess. Nobody ever guesses.
Nah, I don't know. Is there
What do you got?
Irish in there?
Yeah.
Irish?
Half.
Half.
My mom has got a citizenship.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Irish and
That's I'm some half, and then my dad is
Welsh,
no.
Polish.
Here's your hint. What's my last name?
Well, I don't know what that is. Marino, you could tell it's Italian. Shoemaker?
Schumacher.
Jewish?
It was originally Schumacher. What would that be?
Jewish.
No, German or Swiss.
Oh, German.
Swiss. And I found out I'm black. Ghana. I did 23, 14% African.
Did you really?
From Ghana, yeah.
Wow.
I know I don't look it. I mean, your black audience isn't going, I'm going to invite him to my reunion. But 14%.
That's cool, man.
I make a joke. I say, a week after I found out, I got pulled over by the police. The guy goes, do you know why I stopped you? I said, I think we both know. Hands where I can see them.
I love where the comedy comes from. The truth.
Isn't it the? I coach comedy. Actually, I coach people how to be funnier, even if they're not a comedian. But I have a number of comedians. It's the number one thing. Tell me your truth. Tell me. Don't tell me a joke. Tell me who you are.
Yeah.
Who are you authentically? That's going to be in every situation you're in. I said, listen, I've toured with the Reebok National Aerobic Championship with people in tights in a mall, and I've been on Howard Stern. It's two different things. Who am I in both of those situations? Jokes.
Yourself.
my jokes. I'm like who I am.
Right.
And now here I am. This is a career highlight.
You know, you never know. Show business is whacked. And that's what I was trying to talk to you about before we started taping, that I was interviewing these other stand-up comedians, and I realized I'm not alone. The pains and the strange shit that we go through, I always felt I'm the only one that goes through that.
Wow.
I didn't get picked up by that agent, but that guy did, and he's my opening act. How can that possibly be? That guy don't want to talk to me. That guy won't book me, but that guy gives me whatever I want. I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You can't work in that area. You're not right. But I came from that area. You're only good for these places, but I do all those places. It's just a crap.
How'd you like a casting call where you're reading the casting sheet and they said, we're looking for a young Craig Shoemaker?
Really?
I've had it happen a number of times. They're looking for a Craig Shoemaker type.
And did you say, but I'm alive?
Here I am.
I'm here.
I know the type.
I exist.
I didn't get my part. I didn't get the part.
You didn't get to play yourself.
I never got to play myself.
Well, maybe your head was too big.
Play with myself. Yeah, that's what it was.
That really happened?
Look at the size of this guy.
And you're talking about the breakdown?
My sister calls me a human eclipse. If I walk by the sun, I completely block the sun with his head.
See, I don't see it.
You don't see the big head? There you go.
No.
Oh, there you go.
What got you into the stand-up world? And where did you actually cut your teeth as a comic? California or Philly? Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So you were doing stand-up before you came out here?
I started my junior year of high school.
Really?
Yes, Ava Tamini, one of you people, in her backyard.
One of you people.
Actually, the first time I did it, I was working at a law firm, summertime, and this guy, Jim Mardinley, had these long nails because he was a really great guitarist. And he said, I used to perform in the lunchroom just joking around. I mean, I didn't know I was going to be a comedian. He goes, hey, would you go between sets of my band? And I said, sure, I'll give it a shot. And I told some old jokes, and I did impressions of Truman Capote and Curly from the Three Stooges. That was my first act. I did celebrity smoking pot. I would just pass the joint. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nixon, oh, that's good weed. Whatever the hell it was. So anyway, I performed, and it was in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was 107 degrees in August 7th. It was so hot and humid. In a really rough section of Philadelphia, all black. I didn't know I was. at the time.
You didn't know you were part of the family yet.
I wasn't part of it. They didn't know either. But anyway, and I brought 4 friends, so they were the only white people in the all black crowd, and I got a couple laughs. I'm like, geez, this is pretty cool. I mean, it's like a crackhead, man. I want some more of this. And I put myself through college doing it. I performed at the inaugural ball of the president of the college. They're all in tuxes, and I'm doing curly high on the floor. Whoop, 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 whoop. I see all these shiny shoes. I just remember that visual. But I had fraternity parties, strip clubs, anywhere I could get up and on, and I just kept doing it. And I went to a high level fast. You know why? I do impressions. I used to do impressions, like tons of impressions. If you do that, you kind of raise up faster because, like music is almost easier. You know, you could be doing, nobody could listen to you. You could still keep playing guitar. You have to be listened to with stand-up comedy.
Yes.
But with impressions, you do the impression, they always applaud at the end. So I rose up the ranks as a headliner really soon because I did impressions. Because it's like, it might not even be that funny, but, then I learned how to be me. I dropped a lot of the impressions. If I do an impression, it has to do with a bit. It's like organic to the bit. Like, I'll tell you a story. Like,
but did you want to be an actor?
I was always an actor. I was acted in school and stuff like that. I loved acting. I always have.
Watch this, because it shakes the camera a little too much.
Right,
so go ahead.
Anyway, like I do an impression of Don Knotts, right?
Still?
Well, here's what happened.
Hold it.
Barney F.
I'm a huge fan of the Andy Griffith Show. I watch it all the time. So could you do it?
Oh, man, you're going to love this story.
I love the Andy Griffith Show. To me, that is the greatest show. The characters
in the history
are
of
the best.
television.
It is.
He's the greatest actor in the history of television. You tell me a funnier actor than Barney Fife.
None.
Than Barney Fife.
It's
Tell me
the
a
best.
funnier character in the history of TV. Kramer? I don't know. I can't think of one. So anyway,
Barney.
I've been doing it for years. I mean, like so well that I got a call once Pleasantville, you know the movie Pleasantville?
Yes.
Reese Witherspoon and Toby Maguire. He was sick. Don Knotts was sick and he couldn't work anymore. And he was already in the film. He played the TV repairman. They called me in. Half the movie is me looping him,
Really?
matching his lips and everything.
Oh,
So
man.
now I'm going to do the impression that I did when I had to do it. I had to do him as an old guy, not Barney F. Nip it in the bud, Andy. No, I didn't do that. Certified lethal weapons didn't do that. I had to do him as an old guy, and it channeled through me because I'm so into being him. So if you watch the movie, he circles the apple on the telestrator. It's my voice going, boom! Why do you call that right there, bud? The forbidden fruit here in Pleasantville. I'm your TV repairman, bud.
Oh, man.
Watch
That's
the movie.
Great. So that was like after he did Mr. Furley?
Wait, this is his last thing he ever did. He
Really?
died afterwards. And he couldn't show up, so I replaced his voice. But then his daughter called me, and she says, I want you in the book called Tied Up in Knots about my dad. I want you in the book because you're my dad's favorite comedian. He loved me.
Oh,
And
man.
as a
What
matter
an
of fact,
honor.
we
What a
were-
name of a book, too.
And we were on Comic Relief together, and they posed us next to each other. I went from like real obscurity to like instant. Me and Chris Rock were like whisked it into the other room. Like we were the breakouts on HBO. I was like, wow. I was a kid. I was young in the business, and all of a sudden I'm at a press conference, and they brought Don Knotts in because he was on for the Steve Allen show. He was on there earlier. And they put him next to me. I'm going, oh my God, there he is. They brought him up on. And I'm there. And they said, do Barney's together. I'm like, okay, Andy, you got to nip it. 2 things here at The Rock. 2 rules. Number 1, obey all rules. And he turns to me and goes, I'm old. I can't do that anymore. You do me better than me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and we talked for an hour. I have this picture of us on the couch. Now I'm going to ask you a question. You got to be honest with me. I know you're a tough guy, but you have to be honest with me. You got to take off your little homophobic hat. I know, so right. So people told me he's got a big schlong. Like he's hung like a hockey stick, Andy. So people have told me that for years. Hung like a gasoline pump, a goober. Anyway, they told me that. Now I'm sitting next to him, just like you and me are sitting here. He's over on this side. You're there. Are you going to look? Tell the truth. Are you going to take a peek? Are you going to be a pecker checker, or are you going to keep eye to eye with Don Knotts for an hour? Are you going to look and see if it's true?
I would take a look.
Yeah!
I would take a
He's
look.
authentic, folks. That was an authentic answer. That was the truth.
And if I knew the situation and I was sitting next to him, I might even say, hey, listen. I'm a gay nothing, but I need to see your cock. You want to swing that? Hey, you might have a little black in you.
There you go.
Go on 22 and me.
There you go. So you would have. You have gone up. Wait,
Why, did he ask you?
No, I didn't say it.
You just were.
To be honest with you, I just kept going, are those pleats? I was like, I was trying to figure it out.
Someone
had told me that, like Milton Berle, you heard all the rumors of who was big. Well, that one was around, Don Knotts of all people. And I took
You
a
figure
peek.
it could be true because he's so skinny. He probably has a really long schlong. I mean,
He's been dead like 20 years, and we're talking about Don
what a
Knotts' big
legend,
schlong.
though. I mean, I watch it all the time. He is absolutely hilarious.
Flawless. There's not one moment where he's not hilarious.
You said a couple of things that I know are lines from the actual show.
At The Rock? 2 rules. Number 1, obey all rules.
Yeah, yes.
Number 2, no writing on the walls. Who writes that? But it's genius, though, the way he delivers it. No writing on the walls.
Just recently, I don't know what episode it was, but it was when, who's the guy who was always drunk and they let him sleep in there?
Otis.
Otis was saying that his brother was coming to visit, and he told his brother that he was a cop, like Barney, and Barney lost it. and then he gives him, chest out, stomach in.
You know what's funny about the show is this is really strange. Everyone at Mayberry was not married.
Yeah.
Except for Otis the drunk.
And you never see his wife, right? I don't think I ever saw it.
But he's the only one of all those people that was married. Even the women weren't married. Thelma Lou. Baloo. My favorite episode of Barney was, so Jim Neighbors was on the show, remember?
Yeah.
Gomer Pyle,
Gomer
right?
Pyle.
And they made a spinoff of Gomer Pyle.
Yeah.
So Jim Neighbors, he got a hold of the writers. He plays that real goofball. Golly, like the goofiest character ever. I was not that big of a fan. Anyway, he probably said to the writers and the producers, if you want me on the show, I have to sing because I want to sell Jim Neighbors albums, right? And he was completely different than his character. So he'd be like, golly, oh my papa, he said he was. So the one episode, it was in the choir, and Andy was the conductor. He said, something's wrong, something wrong. And then Floyd, something, off key, off key. So anyway, Barney says, I'll go up and figure it out. And it was Barney who was bad. He was, Michael, row the boat ashore. I think it's Gomer. He was like trying to rat him out that it was Gomer Pyle who was the bad singer, and then they had to kick Barney out of the choir, the church choir.
There was that one episode, maybe it's the same one, or maybe it was different, but they kept saying, Barney, you got to sing a little lower. He sang so low that the guy behind the curtain sang the song.
That's the one.
Is it?
That's what they had to do.
And he goes, lower? I love one of these things when he was going like this. Barney, why don't you go ahead and tell him what the Emancipation Proclamation was? Well, I can't believe you don't know it, Andy. Everybody knows it. And he couldn't
Everybody knows it, Andy.
He couldn't do it.
Can't believe you don't know it, Andy. Everybody knows the Emancipation Proclamation. Why are you kidding me, Andy?
Then he tells him to do it and he goes, well, give me the first word.
I used to do...
Fucked it up.
My act was, I do celebrities, I told you, smoking pot in Mayberry. It'd be like, Andy! It was Aunt B. Andy! There are seeds in my marijuana, Andy. That's damn good reef right there. I got the munchies. Hazy Katie. Hey, that's my old act that I did. How in the world did I make it? After doing that act.
It's great, man. It's great. And I know everybody's going to be laughing at that.
Oh, yeah. I even did Howard Sprague. Do you remember him? The guy with the bow tie?
Wasn't that the one that he got in a fight with? He got in a fight and they brought him and...
He was the town clerk.
Yeah.
They brought him in years later. Like first, like somebody... Here's a trivia I bet you didn't know. I bet you half your audience doesn't care at this point. But did you know that Floyd, after the first year, was never stood up again because he had a stroke after the first year.
Oh, really?
So if you watch the first year, he's standing, cut your hair, and then he's always sitting down in a sidecar on the barber chair. He was just sitting, but they wanted to keep him around because Andy was a really good guy. He was very loyal because they could have fired him because he could never stand. And so all the episodes, Floyd's always sitting.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
All the characters are just phenomenal. So who else do you do from Mayberry?
Oh, Howard Sprague.
Gee, Andy.
Yes, that's the guy.
Sorry about that effigy thing, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Floyd got in a fight, and then Barney brought it up like years later. And he goes, he punched me in the nose. Oh, yeah, it was really bad. Whatever the fuck that was.
I used to even do Ernest T.
Oh, now there's the challenge.
The other guys were on pot. And I said he was on. He goes, Andy, somebody threw rock cocaine through my window, Andy.
Ernest T. Bass.
Ernest T. Bass.
Yep. Always looking for love.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna marry you.
I'm gonna marry her, Andy. I miss, good shows like that. And I can't even think of the last sitcom I watched in the last 20 years. Can you? You ever watch a sitcom?
I don't. No.
I can't think of
it.
I watched a documentary on Mary Tyler Moore.
I saw that on a plane.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yep.
She was brilliant. I mean, they all were.
Carol Burnett.
Every one
all
of
in the
cast,
family.
They always had great casts all throughout. Everyone in the Mary Tyler Moore cast was brilliant. Every one of them. There was never a bad moment, with Ed Rhoda and Cloris Leachman. All these people were on the same cast. And that's the way they could do it back then.
Yeah, I wish they
can't-
could do it now because the chemistry between those peoples, which was launching everything.
Exactly, but they don't have chemistry now because it's just not done the same thing. You know, I'm going to show you how they cast things these days. I went in and I pitched a show, and it's called a showrunner.
Right.
You gotta have a showrunner. So that's the person who's in charge of the show. And I told him, I won't say his name, but I told the showrunner, the guy, this is all the agent did. Takes his little mouse. Yes, yeah, he's got no followers. That's what it's based on. Followers, you know, he hasn't done anything in a year. It's look at that. Everything's trending. It's all about trend. It's not about heart. There's no heart behind any decisions anymore. There's no intelligence. There's no inspiration behind anything. No one takes a chance. They copy. That's why there's so many movies that are just copies of the other. Then there's one Marvel after the next. This is what they do. That's how Hollywood's run, and they're choosing the menu from which we eat. Now this is a menu. Look at this. This is a menu here.
Plenty of things. There's even another roast beef sandwich over there if you want it. You can knock yourself out.
I'm eyeing it up.
Knock yourself
Has
out.
any of your guests ever eaten as much as me? I even had a pre-eat before we came on. Nobody ate as much as me.
No, but
No.
keep doing what you're doing. This is what this is here for. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest little delis.
Tell me
that
the
you're
name of
gonna
the
find.
deli again in Lakewood.
Fogia, Italian market and deli.
look up.
Food provided by. These guys are the best. It's one of those delis where you walk in, there's sawdust all over the floor. Everything is hanging from the ceiling. You know, they all have the attitude when they look at you. What do you want? What do you want? Hurry up, say it. You know, and you get it.
Love it.
There's a little corner where you could sit there and have the sandwich. They sell wine. And right next to it is a bar from the 60s that hasn't changed. And you can even smoke cigarettes in there. These people just like, they don't give a flying fuck. This is it, you know? And I like that type of
No,
places.
are they watching this show?
We're not live, no, but it's
No, will they be watching it? The people who made this?
Mm-hmm.
So when I go in there, I'm going to go, like they do back east, hey,
Yes.
it's you. I'm going down.
Hey, you're the one that ate the roast beef without the bread.
I had some.
Why didn't you eat the bread? You should have ate the bread. You want a sandwich? Oh, yeah, they're the best. You know how I met these people? They came to see me at Laugh Factory in Long Beach.
Yeah.
And the guy brought me a sandwich from the deli.
Oh, wow.
And he brought a sandwich that was a chicken cutlet with oil and vinegar on it and some lettuce, I forgot, arugula. It was so fucking good. And I bit it when I was sitting in the booth, and I said to the guy, wait right here, I'll be right back. I went on stage, it was my turn, and I brought the sandwich on stage with me. You see the oil dripping down my arm. And I go like this. Let me tell you people, California, something. Get the fuck out of Subway. Do you see this? This is a sandwich. This is what you do. This is how you eat it. This is where you go. And everybody was laughing.
Yeah, Subway.
Before you know it, he bought sandwiches for the staff and everybody.
Yeah.
So he made some friends.
And they think
And now we go there all the time.
Subway is
Subway. Could you imagine?
they think that's
that
what
even
it is.
bread, that's cardboard.
Oh my God.
Don't go in there. The best place
Until
to
they
get
sponsor you, then it's hey Subway. Hey,
a Subway.
I need a sponsor for my show. Subway, if you want to sponsor me, I'm here for you. I
Hey,
will love your
Coca-Cola,
sandwich.
help us out.
I can be bribed into loving something, but I don't have to be bribed into loving this. This is back east food. They must be from back east.
Well, they're originally from Italy, but yeah, they're back from
Italy.
back east.
Okay, well that's back east.
Yeah, way east. Off the turnpike.
How many times you been to Italy?
Twice. Both times I was working. I didn't go to visit family.
What?
But I do know where my family's from. Unfortunately, they don't own that property anymore.
Twice.
They're really sad.
I think you're really sad.
I was way too far away.
Wow. I mean, you're all about being Italian. You should be going. Oh,
My mother and
God.
father are from a town called Doroni. It's in Campobasso. And they still had the property for a long, long time, but it all got sold off when all the last of the siblings.
It doesn't mean you
disappeared.
can't go over and see your people.
Oh, I'd like to sometime.
There's one little
A
problem.
lot of them are actually in Canada now.
You know what one of the problems is? Gypsies.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of gypsies in Rome
In Rome.
and pickpocket. They train their kids to pickpocket you.
Isn't that cool?
But you know, cool.
Yeah.
They're training their kids to pickpocket.
I got robbed in Rome. By who? By a little 5-year-old.
Yeah. Oh, they throw them right in there, or they throw the kid at you, and you have to catch the kid, and then they get into your pocket. So they're geniuses. So I put used condoms in my pocket. You enjoying that?
What's your favorite memory of being a stand-up? Like your favorite place to play, your favorite big thing that happened, one of?
Oh boy! So, well, one just unbelievable thing was 75,000 people I played
75,000?
75,000 people in a stadium.
That's a
And
stadium.
bro, the closest person was 100 yards away. I mean, I'm sorry, the closest person was 40 yards away. It was in the end zone, and then they're out here, and then all the way at the other end of the end zone. So I had to slow my act down because you know how a plane goes by, the plane goes by, and then the noise. I had to wait for the laugh 3 seconds, and then so I had to slow my act down to in half. It was the strangest thing. It was very surreal, and it was very lonely because the only person who I could really connect with was one stagehand over here going, ha, ha. Everybody else was just this massive.
What was this? I mean,
I did it twice, actually. I was one of the only people that was asked to. It was called the Gator Growl for the University of Florida. And wait to hear this list of who they've had through the years. Bob Hope, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams. Everyone has done this. Ray Romano. I mean, everyone's done this. And they asked me to do it, and they pay really good money. And I was on one show with Carrot Top. He was there. And they give you a parade. You're in the parade. It's a homecoming. It's the largest homecoming in the world. 75,000 people, and I did it 2 different times. One with Richard Jenny, who's a genius.
Mr. Jenny.
Here, I'm going to do my Jenny impression.
You can?
Yeah, ready?
All right.
He used to twirl the back of his hair, right? Remember that? Yeah, had this little bird look. You know.
Shoo, I met this chick, Shoo. I met her on the plane. I rubbed up against her. I went to the bathroom and I squawked one off in the bowl, Shoo.
Poor Richard Jenny,
That's a
man.
quote.
Poor guy.
I love that guy. I moved out here with
Did you
him.
know him really well?
Really, I moved out here with him and John Mulrooney.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And John Mulrooney, me, and Richard Jenny, we really we got some chops in working in bars. And out here, they're working comedy clubs. And we came out it was October of 1986, October of 86. All moved out the same day. And we started going to the clubs, and we were like gunslingers because we're like, we really can handle anything. When you work, especially Mulrooney was unbelievable at crowd work. I mean, we could handle anything. We were like gunslingers, so we elevated really fast out here. And it was interesting because the comedians out here are going, who are these three guys? I mean, and I remember I ran into Chris Rock. I draw great audiences like down at Comedy Magic Club. And Chris Rock used my audience when he was rehearsing. He hosted the Oscars. This is about 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you remember this. He hosted. So he used my audience, but the whole back room at the Comedy Magic Club was filled with writers. And one of them was Richard Jenny. And I'll never forget, I said to Chris Rock, I didn't even know he knew who I was. But he was like, oh, like, you know, you're an OG legend or whatever. And I'll never forget, I said, yeah, I moved out here with Rich. The same time, me, him, and Mulrooney. And Chris Rock goes, you, Jenny, Mulrooney? You and Jenny and Mulrooney? Because he kept saying, you, Jenny, Mulrooney. Like, he couldn't believe. Because, like, he knew that that's what we brought. We brought a whole East Coast thing out here to, like, Igby's. And, you know, we do, like, you know, the other side rooms, you know, rooms here and there. But we, you know, cut our teeth and... You know, not many funnier than Richard Jenny. And what's really sad is no one knows who he is anymore, who's young.
Yeah.
Anyone young. I tutor people and I mentor people. None of them know who he is.
I've said this to a bunch of so-called Italian influencers who take jokes from comedians and make them famous now on the internet. Italians say this, Italians do that. It's sauce, it's gravy, it's this. Oh, shut the fuck up. And then people say to me, oh, man, you're the original Italian comedian. I'm like, no, I'm not even close. Way before me was some of the greatest, let's say, Italian-style comedians of all time. And I remember I used to watch Richard Jenny all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to him just a few times. I didn't know him really, really well. I remember having conversations with him at the Laugh Factory, and he would say, hey, you're doing good. But when I found out that he took his life, I'm like, come on.
Oh.
I just saw the guy.
Unbelievable.
He looked like he was happy. What happened?
I just talked to him.
Yeah?
I just talked to him. He was a 3 a.m. call guy. He was a really neurotic, like in a crazy, funny way. He was so neurotic. He would go through, he would have everything to the detail. His jokes were that way. He'd go, Shoo, Richard Jenny. And he goes, I met this chick, Shoo. Everything started with that. Now, I'm thinking about how to move in. Do I use 3 lines with 1 phone, 2 phones with 3 lines? How do you do it, Shoo? You live with a chick. And so you go all the details. And one time I was visiting, my dad was a cult leader. My dad had his own cult with women. He had a harem of women, like 14 women. Yeah, in the Poconos. Not too far from you, yeah.
Wow.
And he ran mule rides to feed the cult. And I'll never forget this line. I used to tease him. And he I don't know if you watched him dress. He never dressed well. He always dressed like just silvery, shiny suits from Brooklyn. He thought it was stylish. He did not have good style. He shows up in the Poconos with that outfit, right? And we're sneaking in like late at night because we had just played these colleges. And I said, we'll stay at my father's place. And all the women are like out in the living room, and he calls himself the king of the Poconos. Whoever does the good job that day rolls up the sleeping bag and sleeps with the king. It's a true story. So we walk in, and it's really late, and it's me, him, and Glenn Farrington. And I go, and we're tiptoeing in. There's like a goat, and there's a couple goats. It's crazy. It's craziness. And I go, hey, shh, you're gonna wake up my father. And he goes, shoo. Fuck your old man. Fuck your old man. And a mule he rode in on. And then we rode mules the next day. They're gigantic. He goes, you got anything the burros that Jesus rode? And we went out. We laughed so hard that day. We went out, and he said, you have one with us, with an ashtray. But he was so funny, but I didn't think he would be. He came down and auditioned for me. Mulrooney brought him down. I had a one-nighter outside of Philly, an Ambler. And he walks up on stage. He had dollar bills taped to his entire body for one joke. He walked up, I'm made of money. That was it. And he bombed. And I'm going, hey, Mulrooney, this guy's got no shot. And then he ended up to be way better than us. I mean, he was brilliant.
Do you happen to have any idea, or did you have an idea that something was going to happen, that he was going to do something?
No, zero. I mean, I know some things that were going down. I mean, some really underworld shit that was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he was a depressed man?
He was doing, I don't want to spread rumors. I don't want to, Anyway, he had some mental stuff, obviously, so I'm not talking out of school. He shot himself, and apparently it didn't work at first, pieces.
Oh.
Yes, he was out in the driveway. But, I mean, it was really upsetting to hear this, and he was a brilliant guy. He was really brilliant, but a lot of comedians. I talked about this the other day. This is interesting. This is a lot about comedy, right? I said this the other day. Your therapy should be off the stage, not on it.
Yeah.
The stage is not your answer for your therapy. It's not your healing takes place before. So if you say you're divorced, for instance, I remember I said it at first, and the audience didn't like it. They didn't like it because they could see that I had some bitterness left. Now that once I'm clean and clear, now I can talk about all the funny stuff with divorce. And that's what a lot of comics don't understand. Is like, work it out beforehand. Really get healed and work on yourself and know who you are. And that's what you bring to the stage. And then they're comfortable with you. Otherwise, they're uncomfortable. Go, this guy's he's on the edge. He's going to,
I've been telling a lot of comedians, man, if you have any depression problems, call other comedians. We know what you're going through.
Yeah.
Maybe we could lend you some joy somehow.
Yeah.
I'd like to know that there's a phone number that I could call if I have that, because I can't really talk to people who are not in this industry about what I'm going through. They're not going to know what the hell I'm talking about, if it's industry related. But I remember I must have seen Richard Jenny at least 5 days before that happened, and we were just hanging out. It seemed like he was fine to me.
Of course it does. And I don't think there's anyone out there that you're going, oh, he's headed for suicide. I don't think in like history, there's very few suicides.
Some people call me that was saying, hey, I'm thinking bad thoughts. I need to talk
and
to
then
him.
they did it?
No, they didn't.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Those are the ones that aren't going to do it.
Yeah, okay.
The ones who keep it secret. I mean, Robin Williams, I believe, was a complete surprise.
Yeah.
I knew Robin a little bit. One time I won this film festival. You had to do this character, the Love Master. That's been my thing.
Sure.
Yeah, baby. Anyway, the Love Master's really done well for me. I made a movie. I'm backstage in Independent Film Festival. I won this thing. It's 15,000 people downtown in Los Angeles. It was a movie about my character, about me. And 15,000 people. And Robin Williams won an award that day for Lifetime Achievement. And my mom loves celebrity. She's back in Philadelphia. This will tell you the wounds that I come from. Got the cult leader father. My mother belly danced at my high school graduation party. I come from a little stuff. Anyway, and I'm not lying, by the way. She literally bought us a cake, finger cymbals, veils. I have a treat for you and your friends. Divorcee, they all wanted her. Anyway, so she's going to love this. I said, Robin, will you talk to my mother? She said, oh, the Love Master's mother. Oh, yes, I will. Oh, put her on the phone. I said, wow, Robin Williams. I said, so I call him. Hey, Mom, guess what? I'm standing here with Robin Williams, who's going to talk to you, and my film just won the Independent Film Festival in Los Angeles. Can you believe it? And there's this pause. You're going to relate to this. That's very nice, Craig. You know not to call me during Jeopardy. I gotta go. And as she's hanging up here, who is Anwar Sadat? And this is where you're going to understand this. I turn to Robin. I'm standing with the phone. I go, hey, bro. She hung up on me. Goes, I understand. He understands.
Yeah.
We understand. That's when you're saying you should call another comic, because that's who does understand that a mother would. That's what we come from. That's why we do what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you come from normal.
My mother used to say all the time, I said, Mom, I'm really depressed. I can't believe it. This girl, she don't want to go out with me. Well, why don't you just eat something? You'll feel a lot better. Your
That's
father
hilarious.
always eats when he's upset about something.
I was committing suicide when I was a kid. I was kidnapped when I was 13, and things got really bad.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, by a serial pedophile.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
In Philadelphia?
He took me to Washington, D.C. to a ghetto hotel. It was horrible. So, I mean, really horrible, like a bad experience. Came back. My mother told me, keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody. And I was really, like, I had no one to talk to. You talk about mental illness and who you're supposed to talk to about
Holy
something.
shit.
She wouldn't let me talk to anyone. She said, no one will believe you. So this is typical of my mom. And I was done. I was going to kill myself. I mostly wanted to kill myself so people would feel bad about the way they treated me. So I took these neckties.
I thought I was the only one that thought about that.
I took these neckties. Yeah, I always wanted to be behind a tree at the funeral going, now you like me.
Yes.
Right? I wanted to be observant
I always
and
thought I was
pop
the
in
only
and
one that... I'll show you. I'll kill myself. Then look how you're going to feel.
yeah, and then but I want to live so I can go, here I am. Now
Yeah.
you treat me like
I would never get to see it. I'd be dead.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Imagine that. You're up there and go, it didn't work.
Well, I wanted to fake it or so. But anyway, I did want to die. And I took these neckties and I threw them around the door of my bedroom door in Philadelphia, and I tied them to the door handle. And I put a noose I learned in Boy Scouts, and I was dangled, and I was gagging. My mom comes in. She goes, oh my God, what are you doing? Those are new neckties. Get up. That's a true story. Those are new neckties. And they were, by the way.
Holy
She's
shit.
all about the money because we don't have any money. She said, what are you doing to my neckties? She's like, get up. And by the way, I could have gotten up. I was like kneeling, and then I just stood up, So
I can't
I didn't
believe you
really
went
want
through
to
that.
die.
I can't believe we have to listen to all these crazy things, but these are the stories that I know a lot of people would like to listen to because it becomes a lot more interesting than the norm.
Well,
I wish I wish a lot of people actually knew who we were talking about when it came to Richard Jenney. Look him up. Richard Jenney, the Platypus Man, had a TV series.
yeah.
I remember one time I was doing a show at the Laugh Factory too, and Robin Williams showed up, and he went next, and he impersonated me for about 20
No
minutes.
way.
He just was doing me,
That's
kept on
hilarious.
going. He started doing Italians on Baywatch. I'm like, oh, wow, look at him go. And I didn't have a cell phone. I'm like, who's going to believe me? Who's going to believe me? They took a picture of me and a bunch of guys. And I'm like, oh, that's all I get is a picture. But that's a compliment because he was watching me perform.
It's crazy.
And that's how he did that.
We've had a lot of those moments where you're going, no one's going to believe me. I mean, you do have those surreal moments. I've had loads of them, like loads. Right? This is poor Craig Shoemaker. With nothing, no father. My father left when I was born, and I went on to become a cult leader and all this other stuff. And we were poor. I used to think the word evict meant move. I thought they were the same. Where's the eviction truck, Mommy? So I thought. I was a delinquent. At 13, I got arrested, and the cop says to me, now, how would you like to end up like one of these guys on the poster? I'm going, at least he's wanted.
Oh, that's a great one.
Now that's a comic
great.
that laughs at that. The audiences don't laugh at that.
We might have to end on that. That is hilarious. At least he's wanted. Can you tell everybody where they could find you these days, working the circuit around the United States and
I'm actually
Canada?
back working a lot, although I did a big pivot during the pandemic. I coach. I really love coach. I love giving back. And I share this gained wisdom with people. I have clients anywhere from speakers to my number one guy's in mortgages. I just make his presentations funnier. Or I have a guy that on my way here. I was just coaching this guy on the way here. Our Zoom went out, so I just talked to him on the phone. He just wants to be funnier with his family and have more fun. I can make people more funny. I know how to do that. And so I've been doing that. CraigShoemaker.com, official Craig Shoemaker on Instagram. I'm out there touring like crazy. And never, I'll tell you what, I'm sure you're the same way. Never funnier, because we know who we are. And that's the whole key to comedy.
I feel like I'm at the funniest I've ever been in my entire life. And there's also something that's come over me, like I don't really try that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't beg for spots. I don't go after shit I can't get in. I go where I'm loved. I deal with the people I want to be around. I stay away from the shit. I don't go near it no more. I handle myself, manage myself, and I enjoy it. And if I can go on stage and just be by myself or work with people I want to be around, that's my joy.
Yeah.
That's my joy. Not to. And I told somebody who asked me, would you ever consider taking a class? Me, do you ever? And I'm like, fuck yeah. I will talk to anybody who wants to help me that's in my arena. Like if I said to you, hey, I'm having trouble with this, I bet you any money would take seconds to make it pop. Recently, I came up with this one particular routine, and another comedian said, I'd change one word if I were you. And I'm like, give me the word. As soon as I changed the word, it hit.
Yeah.
And that's when you say, okay, you could always learn in this industry something. You get a good comedian who's watching you, boy, he could just change one little word.
Want me to give you a tip right now?
Yeah, sure.
I made this one up. I made up a whole program. I won't tell you the whole program, but I will tell you one. When you're looking for words, if you create something, I just worked with a guy today, and I said, it's got to be like percussion.
Yeah.
Punchlines, not hug lines. So you want to look for P's, B's, and K's. K's, they've already said that in the Sunshine Boys. But I came up with P's and B's are fucking funny. That's why it's bam. That's a punchline. So within the structure of a joke, you have the joke, you go, okay, go find another word, look into the thesaurus or whatever is for that same word, boom, and now you got your punchline.
It's amazing that you said that. Okay, do you know the comedian Frank Del Pizzo?
Yeah.
Frank Del Pizzo?
Yeah.
He was in Florida. He was watching me perform one night.
He lives in Florida in like a mobile.
Yes. Yeah. We were in New Jersey, and he said to me, I said, you went into the store, you bought this, you bought that in a canoe. Change canoe to kayak. The K. The K.
2 Ks.
And I
said,
said,
canoe's funny, kayak is funnier.
I had a little
Canoe's
bit of,
a good K word,
had a little bit of an egotistical problem because he came up with a better word than me, and I didn't want to do it. But I said,
he said it to you.
He said, no. He said to
kayak.
me, you should change canoe to kayak.
To you?
Yes.
Oh, he's right.
Yes. So when I went on stage, I said to him, okay, let's do it. And I went up and I had this and that and a kayak, and it got the hugest fucking applause because it's stupid. And then I did it in a callback later. And I was going to this and I was doing that. And then I got hit in the head with the kayak because you brought it back. And he's sitting there going like this.
Yeah, that's true.
So then you got to separate your ego.
Yeah.
Like he came up with a better joke than me, but it's the word.
And it's funny that you actually just say double K. It's double K. K's are funny. They said that in the Sunshine Boys. That was already said years ago. Yeah, the K's are funny. Heard that. Like kumquat's a funny word.
It is.
Right. But like I said, potpourri is a funny word. I got potpourri. Bowl is a funny word. A fucking bowl. I used to do a bit about a bowl. People would buy me bowls.
You just confirmed kayak.
Well, that one for sure.
Holy
shit. But add the P's and the B's. Now you're just all you're doing is replacing a word in your act that has to do. It just makes it funny. Pepperoni. Here, look at this. That's not mozzarella, not funny. It's a cheese ball.
Use that excuse because you just ate the last one.
A cheese ball.
Hey, listen, we got to get going, man. We've been chatting for over an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the lovely and the most talented K-word I've ever had on the talk show, Craig Shoemaker. Really, label everybody. Tell them where they can find you and where you're going, what you're doing, and all your social media.
Official Craig Shoemaker, craigshoemaker.com. Say hi. Write me a note. I get back to everybody. I could coach you. Come see my comedy show.
Where do you get
90 minutes?
Where do you get the information for the coaching?
Craig Shoemaker.
Same thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just go there and just write me a note. Say, hey, I'm interested. And I just had someone the other day. They liked what I did. I did a speech actually as a luncheon at the Improv during the day as a corporation. I said, here's how to make yourselves funnier at work, get the culture going, you get more passion, more commitment, all with having more fun. You want to go to work. And in sales, they don't care what you're selling. They care how you make them feel.
Right.
And you make people feel good by making them laugh. And I know how the structure and how to make people laugh. That was just one little tip I gave you, but I know how to get there, to get out of writer's block and all of that, get in your creative flow. I call it genuine energy flow. When you're in flow on stage, you know what it's like. There's nothing else out there. It's complete. It's like a river.
Greatest feeling in the world.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter what's going on out there. Just like a river, there's impediments, there's dams, there's brooks, there's rocks. Doesn't matter. You just keep flowing.
Yeah, having a great old time. I usually write live. That's my only way of writing. I just make shit up and then hopefully that I remember it. But this is really, really great. I want to thank you so much for coming down the basement, hanging out with us. Folks, we got to get going. Big shout out to my producer, Tatiana Blue Shell, for making sure we always put together a great podcast and bring great guests on the show. You can keep on watching this show again and again and again. Everything is on my YouTube channel at Mike Marino Live on YouTube. We're also on Spotify, where now you can actually watch the show, not only just listen to it. We want to make America Italian again. You know the motto. It's you don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, and you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my podcasts? By always saying the same thing with my guest. Don't take no shit from nobody.
No.
You ready?
Yeah.
Don't take no shit from nobody.
All right?
Hey folks, thanks for watching live from my mother's basement. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, hit the word like and leave me a really cool comment. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the future episodes, and you can watch some of the funniest videos on the internet. You can also listen to the show on Spotify or your favorite podcast app.